Hello, today is Thursday day. I just finished work. I don't think I vlogged very much this week. I'm trying to remember what happened. Monday, I went to Fred Meyer and then I hung out with that girl again and we watched something. Oh, Bridgerton. And then Tuesday, didn't go to Run Club. I instead watched the finale of The Bachelor, which absolute tea was dropped. And me as a consumer of it, I really enjoyed that character arc that they had for the runner-up. She was like very shy and like trying to not say the wrong thing, and it was really hard for her to bring up difficult conversations, and then she got rejected, and then she brought the receipts. She was like, you were basically love bombing me without using like words like love bombing. She was like talking about exactly what he said when he said it, and it just like completely changed the narrative of him as a person, because there were like 3 or 4 other times in the season where he got this like miscommunication thing and he was blaming it on other people misinterpreting it, but it turns out that he was just misleading a lot of girls on and giving some real fuckboy tendencies. So that was really fun to watch on Tuesday. It was also super warm on Tuesday and Wednesday, and even today. There's like this weird warm storm. Yesterday, I just went to the gym and then played video games. And today's Thursday. What did I do today? I went to work. I know what I was going to talk about. So today I had an informational interview, which is like something that I do a lot. I was trying to figure out which team, who's a part of what team, who can I come in contact about what problems when they come up. And this one that I had right before the end of the workday was this woman who I didn't really know that much about. I just knew she was on the innovation team. I can't remember if I reached out to her or she reached out to me, but somehow I found her name and I scheduled an interview. She pushed it back a week, and then today was the day. So that was kind of the precursor. She kind of came in with like this energy, like I don't know if I need to prepare anything, but I didn't. And I was just like, no, I just want to have a conversation. And as the conversation flowed, there was like every once in a while, it was like a very blunt answer. And in real time, I was trying to adjust to be more soft and toe the line farther back than what I was doing before to not be offensive. And then it just kept getting like more and more like, not confrontational, but like challenging. And then I kept having to take farther and farther steps back and be more and more vulnerable. And it reminded me of when I'm listening to the podcast that I listen to, especially like Armchair Expert, when things get really like confrontational, you can feel the energy in the room be like tense. Dax, like the host of the show, does a really good job of like de-escalating it, bringing it back to vulnerability and disarming the person who's feeling really defensive. And so in real time, I was trying to do the same thing, and I was trying to be more and more vulnerable. And if I could literally feel like the back of my head, like my back and the back of my neck getting really hot because of how much tension there was, going back and forth over this conversation that was like not that deep. And I kind of tried to end it on a really positive note of like, I just wanted to hear your advice and where you're at. And like, I was talking about this thing that you might have taken offense to, but it was really more about me than about you, and like being more explicit about that than it being implied, because I think sometimes people automatically, a lot of times, the default is like people are not implying that you're trying to offend them. They're implying that you just didn't mean while you were saying the wrong thing. So I had to be very explicit with that. I was not trying to offend them, and very explicit that I was trying to attune to my own anxieties and uncertainties and turn the interaction from like being a confrontation to being a good time, or at least manageable. So that's kind of what happened today. That's what I wanted to note. It was kind of cool, I guess, to see in hindsight, like me trying to work in real time and think on the fly and trying to like utilize this skill that I hear about all the time, almost every day across the week. Like, I listen and consume so many podcasts, and for me to finally like apply it, it was really cool. So I'm still going to run club. The weather is kind of rainy and gross. There's Pup. Hi, Pup. I hope it doesn't muffle my sound too much, but I just wanted to give an update. I'm gonna try to talk loud because I'm heating up food, but today's like 11 o'clock. I had a day. I went to Subaru to get my oil changed, get my car checked, and made sure that everything's good. And then I had a couple meetings. One of the meetings I went into, I entered late, and then by the time I was entering and leaving, no one was there. So I was like, dang, did I mess up? Like, is this the wrong meeting? And they just ended it early, so everyone else that was already in the meeting just watched me go in and out and in and out of the meeting lobby. So that was kind of embarrassing. And then I had a couple calls after that. One of them was very heated, and it was I was trying to find out how to reimburse my mileage for driving to LA. And to be fair, the full context is like, I set up a meeting and I was like, okay, I'll set up this meeting for like 10 minutes from now. And then I set up the meeting for 10 minutes from now. And then I had to go back to the Subaru like help desk service center and like talk to them about what I wanted on the car again, and like where it was at, and answer questions and like verify, yes, I want a new air filter. So by the time I checked my phone again, that time came and went. And then I called her and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm just at a car dealership trying to get this all sorted out for my travel next week. And so maybe there's a little like animosity and frustration. And maybe it's also like animosity and frustration because she doesn't feel like she needs to talk to me. But then I keep reaching out and asking her for help. But I went to do the mileage thing, and it was a lot of money because it's like 50 cents a mile to go from California back. It's like almost 1,000 miles each way. So it's 2,000 miles, $1,000-ish. And she was like, yeah, this is like not very ethical. Like, I don't understand. Like, who told you to do this? Like, give me a name. Like, this is absolutely like irresponsible. And just going on and on about like how this is so wrong. And I was like, whoa, like, let's slow down here. I'm not asking to get this money reimbursed. I was asking about the process. I didn't know how much it was going to cost. My manager didn't know how much it was going to cost. We just wanted to see what the pricing system would work out, how much the reimbursement is per mileage, like all of that stuff. And now that I have that information, I'm going to go back to my manager and say, like, this is where we're at. I'm not going to be like, nah, screw this company, I'm just going to charge it anyway, when it's like a ridiculously high amount of money. But I was really trying to be explicit, like, I'm not trying to I had to say, I'm not trying to take advantage of the company, I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I also see that this number is really high, and I didn't know any better. I'm not trying to, like, pull one over on anyone. So I don't want it to be construed that way either. So another situation where I was, like, de-escalating it. But, yeah. That's my morning. Then I was late to my haircut because of that situation. And now I'm back home with Atlas. Today is Saturday. I went on a date night to OMSI, which was kind of overrated. And then I went to the mall, and really quick, I have the same cologne that I've, like, since basically 4 or 5 years now, maybe even 6 years at this point. And I was trying to decide if I was going to get this again, because I'm not sure if you can tell, it's like basically out. And I just happened to go to the mall, and they had this display, which I thought was really sick, where you get like all 4 of these, the original ones, so I can keep it if I don't like this silver one. And I think this is just the box. I think there's just 2 of them. This one was in there and that was in there. But still, I got the box. It was retail for $220, which is basically the price of one of these. And then I got 20% off or 30% off or something like that, so it brought it down to like 160. But I got this cool box, cool like display box thing, and I haven't had a chance to open it because I am off to the Thorns game.
Keeping it secure with a score of North Carolina 0.
First sip of wine after a long day. You hit like my biggest fan when I hear what the critics say.